Exactly. Both of you, really. Thanks a lot. I feel the love between these two gentlemen. Considering they've both been on my podcast before, now they're here together. What's going to happen? God only knows, and God help us all. Hey, I'm Rob Acampora. This is the A Game. This over here is Troy Burbank. This over here is Ernie O'Donnell. Both of them have individually been on, like I said, and if you missed those episodes, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. It's not going to cost you anything. You can find the past podcasts. They were both very entertaining. And by the way, I will say this. Your boxing predictions were very interesting last time. You don't remember, but I mean, yeah, well, it's been a while, so, you know.
Stupid.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He don't remember shit. He's a boxer.
Yeah, he took a few punches to the head. He took a few, you know. And then,
I was on this show?
Yes, you were.
Oh, okay.
You know, and Ernie was nice enough to do a special little video for my 100th episode, so thank you for that, sir.
You well deserved.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
We are here because of, as a matter of fact, Ming, that's a perfect place to start right with that photo because number 5, that was you were right there. We got to start here because you guys will be taking over this Podcastle Cinemas very, very soon. As a matter of fact, April 6th. It is a debut of your film, and it's a horror film.
Horror film, yes.
What is it about the horror genre that when people are really into this? I mean, even if they're bad, they're really into it. And you've done enough. Now you've done your share of conventions to kind of know that.
Yeah,
well, first of all, wait a sec.
Okay.
You're saying you're saying bad. Don't put us in the same category.
I'm just saying, not putting you in that category at all. I'm just saying in general. In general.
All right.
All right.
I'll let you slide.
Thank you very much.
Okay, buddy.
I don't need to get in trouble here. Like in the first 2 minutes, the over-under was 5. So,
I just personally think people like horror movies, slashers, spiritual, demonic, whatever. I mean, I do. I just, even like you said, even if they're bad, you can't help but to watch. Like I watched a bad one last night.
See?
And it was called, and it was actually big names in it.
You don't have to really say it.
You want me to tell you? So you guys don't watch it? Natty Knox.
Well, it's a bad title.
Yeah, the title alone, I'm going,
what's her name? Danielle Harris from Halloween.
I remember her, absolutely.
Right? She was great in it, but the storyline was horrible, but I was committed to watch it to see what happened, and I wasted an hour and a half. But whatever. I mean, you live and learn. But you're right, though. People like them movies. Even if it's bad, you're going to watch it to see the end result of it. So I just, especially if you have a good one, you know, I mean.
Well, when you have a good one, then you hope that it becomes a franchise.
Right.
That obviously is the hope, but
or successful.
Or successful, right?
That's the hard part.
Is it difficult to write? Is there a different process of writing a horror film than as opposed to writing a drama? Because you guys have been involved in different genres as far as the movie business is concerned.
Well, I mean, for me, I mean, it's just what pops into my head, really. So, I mean, if I have my mind committed on a horror film, then crazy stuff pops in, you know, and then a drama, then that pops into my head, a comedy, it's the same thing, you know what I mean? So for that, I just, whatever you're going out, you know, to set your mind to, that's how, for me, that's how it goes, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't consider myself really a writer at all. I just have stupid ideas.
Stupid ideas that we put on screen.
Exactly.
And spend stupid money on.
It's working for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
But as a producer, that may be another story we may have to get into. But as an actor, you've done a couple of horror films, so you kind of got an idea. I mean, you know, 1,000 Acres of Hell comes right.
100.
There you go.
Bitch. That's strike 2.
Strike 2, bitch.
That's part 2. 1,000 Acres.
I was hoping for part 2.
We were
still running. They're still running.
Yeah, we're still running.
We're still trying to track down Snitsky because it's not his fault. But that's
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. True. Yeah.
But doing it as an actor, I mean, you find that fun, or do you find that challenging as opposed to? Because I'm going to talk about a short film that you did was a little less of a horror film, to say the least.
Yeah. No, horrors are fun. I mean, they're a blast. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to be the lone survivor. You want to get killed because that's getting covered in blood and guts and gore and all that kind of shit's awesome.
And freeze.
Yeah, and you freeze, and not to mention most of the blood they put on you is cold.
Why is that? I never understood that.
Because it's not up to the makeup artist to warm it up for you. I mean, it's they doing their gig. I mean, they got enough to worry about. I mean, if it's cold, then suck it up. Oh. But
especially when the location's cold.
Well, that's the other thing.
Right.
If it's at night and you're outside,
Yep.
and then they're starting to put this blood on you, and it's 15, 20 degrees out, it's kind of rough.
And you were shooting this during the winter by any chance?
It was
Fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fall. But the location that we filmed at, it wasn't warm.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I in between takes, Ernest's just walking around a little stiff. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Dude. And the one,
Are we allowed to curse on this show?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's like, fuck you. You're not covered in blood.
yeah, I was so, and I had so much blood on me that we broke for about a half hour, and we had lunch, or we did something, dinner, whatever
it
the
was
fuck
called.
it was, right? And I dried up, and my pants, everything on me was just stiff.
Ooh.
My shirt was stiff, my pants, everything, and it was just
Not everything.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
thank God at that point.
you don't need a blue pill if you got blood. trust me.
Well, we've just learned something here
know?
on this podcast. There you
Exactly. But it's a little uncomfortable for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And then once it dries up.
Then it's not a big thing. You kind of get used to it.
Yeah. But then if you got to do a retake, then they got to throw it back on you.
Right.
But the funny thing was, I couldn't wash the clothes.
Okay, why?
Well, because you don't want, the blood has to be consistent in the scene.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
So if you take the wardrobe off, you have to, you can't touch it. Then you got to put it back on the next day, or so it's all got to be
So once it's stiff, it's just going to stay like that for the entire shoot.
right. But then they could re-moisten it by spraying it with some shit, or rub it a little bit.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Rub it.
Oh man, see, this is what you never know about revealing the behind the curtain of a horror film. I like that.
Yeah.
And what lives here? Ming, can I get that photo for me? It's that one, I believe. There it is. Coming soon. Actually, it's coming April 6th. Tickets are still available. Smart Castle Cinema, Atlantic Highlands. Ernie, what is the update on the cinema? Because I heard it went from profit to nonprofit.
Yes. So we are in the process of going nonprofit, which will allow us to do a lot more stuff at the theater as far as
That's what I was curious about.
educational programs, schools, a museum. Well, obviously, if you've been to the Smart Castle, the theater itself is almost like a museum already.
It really is, yeah.
Because we bring in a lot of Kevin's movie memorabilia and things like that. But it's something that we have to do, and it's no. Everybody knows that the movie business is, as Kevin said, is in the toilet.
Yeah.
And with the strikes going on and with COVID, it really put a miserable, delay on a lot of content.
Right.
So we're not getting the content that we want. So there's, for example, normally December is Christmas, right? Usually have a big Christmas movies come out
in November.
Right.
Sure.
There was nothing.
This past year, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good point,
right?
yeah.
Everything tanked.
It was quiet as it all got out. Yeah.
And then traditionally, January, February, and even into March is kind of slow for the movie industry and the theaters. Mm-hmm. So now we take that back into early November, all the way up until March.
It's going to have a deep effect
Oh,
economically.
it's a killer. So we're just going to pivot and go nonprofit, and it opens us up to a lot of different programs and grants and things like that. But we're still going to do first run movies, and
That's
obviously, definitely first run, and heavily lean into our independent filmmakers as we do with our festival and the host premieres like we're doing with Troy, with What Lives Here. And we embrace everybody in the independent community. And horror has been really good to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, horror's been great.
I'm realizing that.
Yeah.
And Troy, this has got to feel really good that you can debut this in Atlantic Highlands, because it seems like you've got your own community with your production company and with Smart Castle.
Well, Smart Castle, even when Freddie owned it, when it was Atlantic Highlands Cinema, we still, went there because it's our home,
Home base,
it's right there. It's, so we know everybody in the area, so it's convenient, you know what I mean? Could you go to Red Bank and do it? You could, but it's not the same. It's better right there in Atlantic Highlands where you went as a kid, so that's, for me, that's like no other, I wouldn't go any other place for premieres, you know what I mean? Because it's as a kid, like I said, you were going there to the movie theater, you're watching movies. Now your movie's there.
Yeah.
and people are coming to see your movie. So for me, that's the main thing.
Yeah, it has a nice nostalgia effect. And
it does.
Nice payoff on
Yep.
that. And also, Ernie, to your credit, with the theater, when you do a premiere, you do, and I've seen the photos, there's a nice red carpet effect to it. You really roll it out and make it special.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be treated special. So the big thing we do is we keep it affordable.
And again, that's probably the biggest, like you said before, the biggest reason why you're making the changeover, where the average person who's going there not going to really know the difference, but because you're doing this, you can continue to do this and do it successfully, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, the word's been getting out a lot. I think since we've been here almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had to have hosted 36 premieres.
It's not bad.
I mean, just from the independent side,
right?
That's not including all the stuff we do at the festivals and the private things we do. But it's been great. I mean, you gotta embrace all these guys out there trying to get their stuff on the screen, because that's what it's really all about.
Amen.
I mean, you got to give them a platform.
Speaking of platforms, we got the trailer, Ming. If you get that together, here's a little sneak peek of what to expect with What Lives Here on the A Game. Check it out.
I've got a clean-out job at a residency in my area.
Atlantic Highlands is about 3 hours away.
Since when do we take jobs that are 3 hours away from home?
I got a crew down here. We're going to do a cleanup job at the Edwards Mansion up on the hill.
The Edwards Mansion? I didn't know they sold that place.
Didn't you find it strange that they didn't get a crew from around here to clean out that house? Everyone from around here knows the history of that house.
You know, I've always wanted to see the inside of that house. I think maybe you could bring us back with you to take a look around.
We've heard stories about that house. Why would you want to go there?
What lives here?
Evil.
Oh my God!
Smart Castle Cinemas, you will see it on April 6th and be scared out of your mind. Go to Smart Castle Cinemas website. You can order the tickets at a 7 p.m. screening. That is the premiere. These two men are majorly responsible for this film. Thank you, Ming, for putting that up there. I really appreciate that. And since, Ming, you were chiming in, you're in the movie, are you not, sir?
I am in the movie.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of what your thing is in this film?
Ernie, talk about getting blood thrown on you and getting all crusty. And it may have happened to me. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I considered this Ming's side career now. He's going to try to do as many of these independent horror films and have blood thrown on him as much as possible. He likes it.
Whatever Ernie and Troy need or want, I'm there. I'm there. And I had a great time. We shot. We took a whole day, and that house you see in the trailer, creepy as all hell.
Oh wow!
And need to be put on film. And Troy knocked it out of the park. So
that's cool.
Only happy to help.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is the right thing in probably 4 months. We're in 2 movies together.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So, we're on a roll, man. We're on a roll. Let's keep it going.
Look at the triple play.
Well, this is the interesting part. The relationship you two have has been blossoming with the projects that you've done. When I had one of you guys on, I'm trying to. It was you, Troy. When we're talking about On Our Own, and Ming, if we can pull up that photo, that was 6 episodes that did well. Now, not that one, although that would count. There you go. Yeah. That was 6 episodes that looked like it was a lot of fun. And I get the feeling it did better than maybe even you were thinking it was going to do.
Well, not really, because I mean,
that man's confident.
I
should know that from last time.
Like
I should have.
It started off, like I said, originally we were gonna do just a pilot episode, right?
Right,
and then it just escalated from. I was like, you know what, let's do another. I got more ideas, but
right.
And then it ended at 6. I mean, we probably could, but the money was running out too, so it was like we got enough money for 6, and that's it. So, but this season 2, we're gonna do 10.
Good. Glad to hear that.
But yeah, I thought it was good. It's, it's a funny concept, and
it is.
It kind of brings you back to like the 80s type of sitcoms. You know what I mean? So that's what, once again, I was trying to accomplish. You know, trying to bring, because there's nothing like that around.
Right. But you're also bringing it up to date in 2024. You're seeing a lot more people who are in that situation where they're like, okay, 30 to 40 something, who are suddenly now had to live with their parents for whatever reason. Now suddenly they're out on their own and kind of going, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah.
It is a little more commonplace than it is ever before. So it does touch on something. You find the humor in it. Ernie, you do some great work in that.
Thank you.
You really do.
Well, Troy, I'll give credit to Troy. He kind of gives me the blueprint of the script, which we kind of stick to, but he also allows me to play a little bit, so which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I just you try to stick mostly to the page, but I like if something's better,
right?
I say use it.
There you go.
That's the way I look. I mean, I don't have no ego. Go, it's good. Right, do it. It's fun. I love it.
I think the second season will be interesting for me, who has seen the first 6 on Amazon Prime. It opens a lot of doors and possibilities of like, okay, where are the 2 main characters? Where are they going from? Will they start dating? What's going to go happen with your character and your situation? You've been in therapy, so it'll be interesting to see where that's going.
It's funny that you said that, because season 2 there's gonna be a few different changes happening. As far as like the cast and stuff, and new people coming on. Good. But there's gonna be a lot of that, dating and.
It seemed to me that was the obvious next step. It sets itself up for those guys to kind of, here you go, it's time.
Yeah,
you know,
it's gonna. Season 2 probably, for me, I think it's gonna be better than season 1, because now I got the foundation of all the, for me, writing the characters for the whole thing was, because you're thinking, man, what should I do with this guy? Now that they're all written out, done. Now I can just build on each character even more. You know what I mean? Like what Ernie's character and his wife. We can go to their house a little bit more. You know what I mean?
I would like to see that, because your comedy really. I remember the bedroom scene with you. That whole thing where it was like I'm laughing hysterically, and to me, your character can go a lot of different directions with, all right, where's this marriage going? Is it good? Is it bad? We're not really sure. You're just not, But that, I think that's part of the comedy, here you are, I won't say whooped, but, you can.
You can. And what's just funny is like Ernie's character, which we work with each other, and I need somebody, because I'm on the brink of divorce, right? There's probably no going back for me, so I need a co-pilot. I need this guy to come. So I'm trying to take Ernie and bring him on the ride with me, but
I like that. Yeah.
He's fighting it, but he wants to. He wants to.
He wants me to be his wingman.
Right.
So.
But I'm getting the feeling your character's sensing that his character's not really happy, so trying to bring him in as the wingman is like, come on, you can help me, and I'm trying to help you at the same time.
Because his wife is, you can see it in the first season that she's the boss, and whatever,
Clearly.
Well, listen, come on. I'm playing the game.
Yeah, well, you are.
He's got the game playing. But. So I just think season 2 is going to be the stuff that I'm going to write. It's going to be a lot more exciting. You know what I mean? And and like I said, there's going to be some different people coming into the mix now, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it's going to be way better, because everything's laid out for all the characters now. You know what I mean? And some new characters that are coming in. So. We'll see how that's going to turn out.
What's the plan for it to hit Amazon when?
It's not so much Amazon, Tubi now. We're on
Tubi.
We're Tubi now. So Amazon is
okay.
Kind of
but thankful for the start. Thank you very much for this success.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. But now you can you stream it for free on Tubi and Plex and Apple and all them. You can stream it on all them platforms now. But we're thinking. If everything, I mean, how with film and everything, it's just tough, just trying to get, you got to see with Brian, his schedule, you know what I mean?
Mr. O'Halloran will return. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, because he's buried. You can't really.
Like I will say, his character, he lays on the Irish brogue so thick, but he's doing a caricature and he's doing it so well, and you're in on the joke. Is the best way to describe it. But he plays it so well. He really does.
And there's a lot more, obviously I got to talk to Brian, but there's a lot more. I'd like to put his character in a little bit more.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like incorporate him more into the storyline instead of just like periodically at the bar. You know what I mean? I like to get him outside of the bar.
Like you did with the poker night.
The poker game. Yeah. Exactly. So,
which, by the way, if you watch any episode, watch episode 6. The poker one is hysterical. It really, really is. That, watch all 6, but if you're going to watch one, watch number 6. Trust me on that.
Well, if you're on Tubi, it's all free. So
which is great.
Start
go to Tubi
from the beginning and watch the whole thing. Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah.
This way you'll get the growing process of the whole show.
Definitely. One more plug I'm going to give before we get to random shots. You both are experienced on that. It is a short film. I think it's number 3, if I got it right. There we go. That just came out recently. What is Wasted Blind about? I know it's a short film. I love the fact that there's Ernie right in the middle, and you managed to have Siobhan Fallon Hogan, love you to death, Siobhan, who's been on this podcast, to be a part of this as well.
It's about a recovering alcoholic that kind of falls back off the wagon. Some family problems. I don't want to really give. I want people to watch.
No, don't give. Yeah.
Some family problems that jump into the mix, and he kind of falls back off the wagon, kind of with his son, and his son's going through some problems too of the same thing related to the family problem. It's a great short. It's a great. Everybody's like, oh, you should have made it a feature. I get it,
but that's the whole idea, though. In a sense, doing the short film is to here's your teaser. If we can get the funding, we'll do the whole thing and we'll do a feature. I mean, that's all what I think about short films. It's sort of this, we're putting this package out there so maybe somebody could say, all right, here's your steak, let's go for it.
Well, that's true for certain stuff, but this one, because obviously the actors are, the kids that played, he's getting older, he's, 17 now, so it's not like he's that same size anymore, but if it could have been a feature, but I just didn't have the money to keep going with it, you know what I mean? And so I was like, I'm going to write it this way and let the chips fall where they can, and I think it's great. But people are like, "Oh my God, I want it more! I want it more!
Well,
I want it more!" I was like,
"There's the double-edged sword. You know you've done something really, really good when they're wanting more, and then you're like, well, we didn't have the money to do more."
Yep.
Which I got to ask this question because you both have done enough producing. How really difficult is it to manage the money in these situations? Because I understand when you have smaller budgets, you got to do some things that probably you wish you'd be like, oh, if I had a little more money, I could do this, and this. But you can't think like that. You just kind of have to go, this is what we got. We got to make it work and try to stretch it as much as we can.
Well, yeah, it's also, it's the people you surround yourself with. So it's calling, we keep a tight community of filmmakers around us and actors, which keeps the budget down.
Right.
We keep it simple. Troy writes it in a way and puts it together in a way where, he doesn't make it too complicated, not too many locations. It's you got to think of that kind of stuff when you're writing it, and he writes it in a way along with his wife Michelle that it's affordable, and you don't have to have all this high end super duper equipment and have this massive crew. I mean, is that nice? Yes, I love it when I'm doing big stuff.
Sure,
but there's something gratifying to be in the independent arena and doing something for $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000. That's when you can accomplish something that's good and people like it, and you've only spent that kind of money.
Yeah,
I mean that's hard to do, but
on not alone once, but on a consistent level,
right?
Yeah.
But it also is you gotta congratulate your friends and your family around you that are helping you out, giving you locations.
Sure.
Troy's a nice enough guy where he knows enough people that if he calls them up and say, "Hey, can I film here?" They're like, "Yeah, sure." So it's always good to have good relations with everybody because you never know when you're going to need, a church or a house or.
Very good point.
I mean, to go back to what lives here, the last movie they filmed, I believe, at the Strauss House was "Don't Go in the House."
Don't Go in the House. Yeah. That was the only one.
Right in the 70s.
Yeah.
79.
Right. So, and that's, he knows the people up there. He has a good relationship with them.
There you go.
He proposed it to them, and, he was very respectful of their space.
That's important.
Right.
Absolutely.
You can't take advantage of those kind of things.
No.
because you may have to go back to certain places. But that's been the key, I think, for him. I would agree. I think he agrees, is that to surround yourself with certain people and to do the right thing, to get those locations, to get people to give him certain things, and also have yourself surrounded by somebody that can multitask as a DP, a lighting guy. I mean, our guy Mark Ferrato is just. I mean,
oh yeah, he's incredible.
He's incredible. He's a one-man wrecking crew.
So he's wearing sounds like 4 or 5 hats.
Oh yeah.
He's just wearing a lot of hats.
He's so good. It would scare me to see him if you gave him really, really high end,
right?
Team equipment with him.
I don't think he'd want that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Is it something where he probably just more comfortable in this zone?
He's like a run and gun, right? So he'll like I don't think anybody can do what he does by themselves. Like they need 4 other people to do what Mark can do by himself. But the thing with Mark is he knows, like he's inside he knows when I'm saying something, he goes, dude, I was thinking the same thing. I knew that's what you want. So he kind of knows my path, my thinking. You know what I mean? So that's why we work good together. Right. I mean, Ernie worked with him before. I mean, Ernie's a little different. We all think differently. Right. We all got our own objective and our own path of what we want, but this guy can, like you said, you write it down and say, Mark, I want this. And he pulls it off. Like, I mean, this like to a T. Yeah. So he's, and like Ernie said, when you have other people helping you, like Mark's just one of the pieces to the puzzle. Right. But then you have, like if I need Ming to come over and do something, he'll come, Right. And I'm saying, listen, we don't really have a budget here. So can you, I had no problem. We'll do it. And same thing with Ernie, all the other actors that are in the movie, they get paid minimal. But they're there because they're real actors. They're not friends that are doing you a favor, because friends only do you a favor for one day. Right. They're not coming back repetitively. Right. They're not going to keep doing it. They're going to say, oh, I can't do this. I got to work. You know what I mean? So, I get it. But true actors, they're there for the duration of the film. You know what I mean? So
definitely. I think the best thing I can say with that is that I've seen like clusters of films where all of a sudden you see like the same 3 or 4 people that are on screen and maybe the same 3 or 4 off screen. That's their family. And your family is, you can tell who the actors are, who the people behind the scenes are. So that comfort zone has to be so important that you can do this and do it efficiently, have fun, make a good product, and do it where, like you said, you can keep it on a budget.
Right. And that's the thing, like too, like people, they're like, dude, how much did that movie cost you? What, like $200,000-$300,000? Yeah, just somewhere close to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's not even nowhere near close.
Right.
It's like, I'll give you. We were in Days of the Dead down in Atlanta. A short film I did was Last One to Leave. It took place in the funeral home, which another friend of mine owns the funeral home. So we filmed there. Blah blah blah. So we're doing a Q&A, and the guy's like, I got to ask you, how much did you film that for? And he knew the number. He goes, $800. I said, yeah, 800. He goes, I just can't. I can't believe that this was done for you. I said, well, this was things were done. The house was free. Everything, people, the actors, and we were up against people that had $1 million films,
right?
Against an $800 film.
But it's also, by doing it that way, you can keep your production company, keep the company going, actually make a little bit of money, reinvest in the company, and keep this thing moving forward as and do the projects you guys want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we want to have fun. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. You're making a movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
the whole idea.
We're not saving lives here.
No, we're not. This isn't brain surgery.
No, we're trying to have some fun, and hopefully people enjoy what we're doing. And it's just, everybody wants to be a kid, and making movies, any kind of movie, is just, like we say, like Kevin says to me all the time. He's like, you want to come play in the sandbox. And as soon as he says that to me, that means, oh, okay.
Okay, you just know.
It's like, I don't care what the role is. I don't care what movie it is. Right. It's just, I get to go out and play.
And it seems like now, and I remember when I interviewed you a couple of years ago, things were starting to happen for you, and it seems like you're having more fun now than you ever have.
Yeah, because, before I was just had my head down and worried about making a living. I mean.
Understandable.
It's, the movie stuff got put aside for many, many years because it just, you got to pay the bills.
Sure.
But then slowly things start to come out. I mean, Kevin told me a long time ago, he's like, you got to make a movie. And it took me probably from the time he said that almost 20 years before I made something.
Right.
And it's just, the spark probably was when I got a call from Jason Kerner and he asked me to join 100 Acres of Hell.
Hell, yeah.
So that was probably the spark that I was like, you know what? I'm getting older. I got to start moving on this stuff. And it all worked out well because as things started happening, I started meeting more people and I met Troy.
Right.
And he wanted to do the same kind of stuff that I wanted to do. I like playing in both arenas.
Yeah. Whether it's big or small.
It does not.
Acting,
I don't
producing,
care.
whatever the case may be.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And any budget, anybody, because it's all about, I was that guy for years that sat there and didn't do it because one, I didn't have the time. Two, I honestly, you don't think you could do it, but in the back of your head, you're like, well, fuck, I could do this. It's not as difficult as it seems, but sometimes you just got to make that leap and jump and do it. And
I'm glad you did because now you're gonna have the no regrets from this.
Oh, I got no regrets. Yeah. I mean, but once you let yourself go, then you get these relationships. Like I had with it started out with Kevin, and then I did something with with Jason. Then I do stuff with Troy, and then there's all these other people that wanted we're doing things with, and then that opens up all these avenues to all these other people, to where hopefully we can get a little bit bigger and get a little bit bigger of a budget because Troy has bigger ambitions to do bigger horror movies or bigger dramas and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Well, I would not think otherwise. I mean, you may be comfortable in this arena, but you want more. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
And to have, like Ernie said, to have a bigger budget, like, because literally I'm doing everything. Like,
right.
And when I say, everybody helps out, but
sure.
I'm going to every location, trying to nail down locations.
Right.
I'm doing food. I'm writing. I'm half-ass acting in it. So you know what I mean? So I'm doing.
Shit, he fucking dyed his hair blonde for this one. Jesus Christ.
he went out on a limb for his craft.
I did, but so there's a lot of things, and sometimes you sit back, you're like, man, and then you're worrying about, because your budget's low, that somebody halfway through is going to bail on you. And then everything you just invest into that, now it's out the door. Now you got to start over again, unless it's somewhere where you can just cut that person out.
Sure.
So when I do stuff like that, this is the first time I've ever filmed for 10 days straight.
Oh wow!
We never.
That's
it was
interesting.
Yeah, it was always Saturday and Sundays for like 4 months.
Right.
And that's when you get nervous because down the road, listen, I can't do this. I got this in the
right.
Now. What am I going to do?
Or you potentially could lose somebody because of another project.
That's my point. So this time I was like, what, we're gonna. I said, listen, everybody. I said, I need these are the dates that we have, and if you can't commit to these dates, then no offense, but I'm gonna have to go somewhere else and get somebody else.
Sure.
And everybody committed, like the lead, Jeff Swanton. He's like, I'll make it work, and he did because he's his own business. He can do what so he made it work. And but that was the first time I ever shot 10 days straight.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was best. I mean, was it hectic? Yeah, it was every night. You know what I mean? Going to the location at 4:30 and then getting out of there at 5, 6.
Sure.
I mean, one night at the bar scene, what time we get done? 6 in the morning, 5:30, 6. But
which when you're in your 20s, you see the sun, you're like, I beat the day. When you're in your 40s and 50s, it's like,
yes.
Then you got to go to work. Then
yeah, exactly. Just smile and wave, boys.
There was some days when I was on like that day I was on set with him. We did end around 4 or 5 in the morning, but I had to be back at the theater to work that day.
Oh my!
Yeah,
I think it was like 5:30 we got out of there.
Yeah, and I had shows those weekends with Kevin, and it was
sleep was not an option.
No,
that weekend.
but again, it's I say this all the time: is if you do not love this business, you should not get in it.
Yeah,
I mean, you're doing it just for the craft and to have fun.
It's the same reason I do radio and do broadcasting.
It's all about making, we always say it, it's about making movies with your friends. I mean, that's what it's about. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about the accolades.
A little bit.
Well,
no. There are a few accolades that need to be.
No, but you really want to be.
It's
I don't want
nice,
to
but
say praised, but you want to be. You want to be kind of rewarded for your work. Not that you're looking for, but you want some recognition. Look, dude, I just put my sweat, blood, and tears into this thing, and I want whether it's good, bad, whatever it is, you finished.
Give me a reaction.
You finished.
Give me something.
Yeah, give me something.
Well, I think the reward is the reactions from the fans, your friends, your family, the people out there, the reviews, the people see it and they're like, hey, this is pretty cool. And you guys only made it for what? Oh my God. That's amazing.
Right. That's what I mean.
Right. That's the kind of stuff that feeds you to make you want to do more.
Right.
I mean, I don't think, the world of getting Academy Awards, Golden Globes, that Spirit Awards, all that kind of shit. That's, if that ever happened, great.
Great.
But at the end of the day, that's not what you do it for.
No, you're doing it for the passion and the love.
Right.
But you're also, like, I'll give an example from your show On Our Own, Billy Hartman, who I found out is actually doing a voiceover in a cartoon movie and a reboot of a modern Peter Pan. And I see who he's working with, and I'm going, that's good for him. That is great. And I'm sure that makes you feel good. It's like going, hey, we were smart enough to bring him in on the project, and it's good to see that he's doing something else that, it's going to put some money in his pocket and get some little bit of exposure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, like, Bill is good. I mean, it's whatever you can, and I always say, whatever you can get from my job, if you got something from it, good. That's good. Good for you. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. It's not, you're mine. You can't go anywhere else. You know what I mean? If you get something else, God bless you.
But you're still a part of the family. We appreciate you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's there's a lot of, like Ernie said, you're not looking for a Golden Globe or anything like that, but you're looking for something. That shit's good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, with this movie, it's that good. And I'm not just saying it because it's mine. It's good. It's really a good. I watch a lot of horror, and like I said last night, and this budget was probably $2 million for it, and it was like, oof.
Yeah. And you're sitting there saying to yourself, I don't even have 1/10 of that budget, and I've just done a better film.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, but it all boils down to everybody helping out.
Right.
To make it happen. Like, people, Phil Cosby, he's a producer on it too, executive producer. He was there every night.
Right.
From start to finish, not complaining. He's not getting paid. You know what I mean? Because like Ernie said, if you don't love it, you're in the wrong business.
You're in the wrong business.
So he loves going to set, doing this, whatever his job, you know what I mean? So everybody else that showed up there every day and helped out in whatever fashion, whether it's moving a light or grabbing an extent, whatever it was, there was people that there doing that. Yeah. So that's kind of makes it happy, you know what I mean? But it's just, it's good to have them people around because but another thing is too, you have to, they're not going to keep coming back if they don't have a finished product to watch.
Right.
If I kept saying, we're doing this and nothing ever came, but I got something new for you, and we're doing, and it never got done. They're not coming back.
Yeah, because you just cried wolf too many times.
Right.
Going, okay, I didn't finish this. I didn't finish that. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. And everybody starts out with good intentions, right? I want to make a film, right? And it's fun. You talk about it. You go to lunches, your dinners, but you have to move forward, right? You have to start making something. And not just make it and just put it on the shelf and say, that we'll pick that up in 5 more years. It's not going to work.
No.
So nobody's coming back for free. If you're paying them, I'll be back. Every time you want me, I'm going to be there. But that's not the case. You know what I mean? So they know when I say I'm doing something, it gets done.
Right.
Regardless of
whether it takes 4 months of weekends or 10 days straight, however you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
I'm going to get it done. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's why they come back, because they know that I'm not bullshitting you and it's going to get done. You know what I mean? So, because I'm not starting something just to play games. I want to finish, just to say, I made a movie. Well, where is it?
Right.
How many people I know say, where's your stuff, dude?
Right.
I've been hearing this for 5-10 years. Where's your stuff?
In this case, it's Atlantic Highlands on April 6th.
Oh,
there you go. 7 p.m. screening What Lives Here. Go to the website, get your tickets.
It starts at 7. The movie don't start at 7:30,
but be there at 7 o'clock. We're encouraging you to get there at 7 o'clock and get settled in. Is the best way of putting it.
Get some pictures and
there you go. Get pictures. Get some popcorn.
Step and repeat. Eat my popcorn at the theater, please. Buy some candy. I need to make some money.
Yeah, come on.
Gotta keep the theater alive, please.
I hope Rob's coming to see it.
I more than likely will be there. Absolutely. Come on now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna be very.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Pleasantly surprised about that how good it is. It's really that good. Ernie did a good job again. A lot of help from me directing, but that's not what we're here.
He had a little help in this. All right.
He almost. I will say. Yes, I'm 55. Does it look like I'm 55?
No, it doesn't.
Fuck no. Okay?
No, fuck no is right.
So, but he had me do a couple things where I was like, you want me to do what?
It's like, wait a minute, I don't even take yoga. Why am I doing this?
My back is broken, my shoulder's bad. I mean,
my knees are weak.
My knees are weak, and he's like, "Yeah, I need you to trip over this chair and do this and fall on this hard floor." And then he's like, "I was like, I'll give you one take," and he goes, "No, we're gonna need that again." Ernie.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" And then finally, after I think it was maybe 2 or 3 falls, I was like, "Can we get
Can we get a cushion for the front porch,
please? Can I just have something to fall on soft?"
Well, no, it was. He's right about that because the floors, the kitchen floor is hard. I mean, even though the house is a little bouncy,
it's still hard.
It's still hard.
It's still hard
because he's falling on his knee. You know what I mean? And we did. You would never know, but. There is a cushion to break his fall.
Thank God.
Yeah, after a while.
After a while. Key words.
Yeah.
Had to take 3 or 4 falls before you got the cushion up.
I don't feel that bad because when I did cop out with Kevin with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
The first time I tased him, Bruce fell to the ground, and then we cut, and he brought in the mats, and then he brought in a stuntman because. Bruce did not want to, I love Bruce, but he didn't want to fall on the ground anymore. No, he fell once. He was like, "Oh, fuck that. I ain't falling no more."
So, Ernie, I think you said that. Where's my stunt guy? I'm like, you're looking at him.
There's no budget for a stunt guy.
Stunt guy.
Are you kidding?
You're lucky we got a cushion on the front porch. I'm sure we wouldn't have that either.
It's sort of like, never mind. We'll use real planks.
Oh, God. It was so painful. I literally crawled to my truck that night.
I can only imagine. It's sort of like Icy Hot, my good friend that night.
Yes. Yeah.
This is how you're over 50 when you say Icy Hot and you're smiling.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
You both have experienced my random shots. I have got a different way of doing this, so I'm going to each give you one of these. I'm going to ask random questions of you. If you think it implies more to you, point to yourself. Otherwise, point to your friend. So a little different here, but got a few of these. Let's see what I can do here. All right. Now, I'm going to ask this first. Are you guys more about playing darts or doing hatchet throwing? Would you say?
Playing darts.
Darts. Okay.
I mean, me.
Right.
I don't know about Ernie.
Ernie?
I throw a pretty damn good hatchet. I did hustle a little bit.
Oh, okay. So we already know then if it's hatchet throwing, you're going to win. All right. So then, in the case of darts, who's going to be better, you or your friend? Turn it around, and just point to yourself.
Yes.
There you go.
Good old Troy.
Troy will win that. Okay. We talked a lot about the money thing when we were talking about it. So who is better at managing money?
For what, though?
See, there you go. Very interesting.
What is it referring to?
I think it's come on, that's easy.
All right, he gave
if
it
everybody knows me, they know who I'm pretty tight with the money.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't mind giving. I'm generous, but I'm thrifty.
That's fair.
I'm thrifty, and I don't like to spend money that doesn't need to be spent
or doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if I can get something for free or figure out another way to do it,
you'll do it
inexpensively or for cheaply. Then fuck it.
There you go.
That's how we do these low budget movies.
Amen. I was mentioning On Our Own, which will be season 2 on Tubi. Season 1, they did a poker scene, and I know that in this room there are a few poker players, but the question now is who's the better poker player?
Oh, he doesn't even play.
He doesn't. Well, you played in a damn episode. You look like you knew what you were doing.
I play 5 card. I don't play.
You don't play Texas Hold'em?
I don't. I
Will
try.
you smack him, please?
I try. I mean, I lost. I don't know. I was out in an hour.
Yeah, he did. He did play one of our tournaments.
Yeah.
He didn't last very long.
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't know what I'm doing. I never played it.
No, I got to redeem myself. I cashed in the first 2, have not cashed in the last 2. I'm not doing well. This is not good. Or he's been taking my money. I don't like that.
Well,
I know you're happy about that, but
I am. But I play online a lot with a lot of the production guys still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, you got to admit, playing live versus playing online is 2 different animals.
Definitely. I'm not a big fan of playing online because of the algorithms. We all blame it on the algorithms. But it's just, when we get together, it's way better.
Yeah.
It's just, this ball breaking. I mean,
there is.
Yeah. We do it online because we do it over Zoom.
Okay.
Also.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of fun, but it's not the same. I mean,
As somebody who has experienced those poker nights, they're a lot.
I mean, Ming will tell you, we've played together tons and tons of times. It's, I mean, Ming's always in the mix at the end, too. He's a slow roller when he plays.
I have not played Ming yet, so
yeah, he sits around and fucking waits and then
then the pocket aces come. Okay, I get how you play Ming.
Yeah. Now, if you ever play regular poker, 5 card, then I'm in. I'm good. I'm good at poker. 5 card.
Cards are cards.
Not when you don't know how to play.
If you know how to play 5 card, you should be able to play Texas Hold'em. You should.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's similar.
You would think.
It's similar. Yeah.
Random shots with Ernie O'Donnell and Troy Burbank. Okay, who's more of a Jersey guy between the two of you? Take that any way you want. What do you think?
We both grew up
I know you both grew up in Jersey, but I mean,
can I do this? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a Highlands boy. He's a Leonardo boy.
Yeah.
Both grew up on the water.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's really not much difference then. Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I have to say Ernie probably worked on the water more than I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
I would say that. So maybe we'll go that way, but because I wasn't really into fishing and all that other goods. In Highlands, that's Lower Highlands is fishing, and that's it, man.
That's what you know from growing up.
Right,
clam diggers.
Yeah,
clam diggers.
Exactly,
yes.
clam diggers.
Indeed.
So I'd say I'm going to give it to him a little bit more because I grew up on the water, but I just never fishing. I just never was into fishing. So I'm going to say Ernie.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
More likely to need bail money at 2 a.m. in the morning. And why would Troy need bail money?
Well, you ask, why am I up at 2 in the morning?
Why are you up at 2 in the morning, Troy?
Sometimes I don't know when enough's enough,
Yeah.
That's why your wife's a saint. I'm telling you.
She is a saint. Yes, she is. Yes. He's, he doesn't hang out much in the bars, but I don't drink, so.
No, I know you don't.
Yeah,
and I know from his photos, he does not mind a cocktail or two.
No.
And I've had a beer with him before, so I mean, I do realize that.
Yeah. And he's got hands, as we all know, so.
Oh, no. Yeah. That would get you. Years ago, not anymore. No way.
He's brittle.
My shoulders hurt.
He took too many punches when he was a professional fighter. All right. This is going to be an interesting question, and I'll explain why I did this. More likely to create a wrestling biopic. Yeah. And obviously, Ernie has worked with a couple of wrestlers, so that helps. By the way, what's the status of Matt Rats?
Last I heard, Ed McKeever told me that he hasn't put it to bed.
Okay.
It's still something he's considering.
Cool.
I hope he does it. I think it's a great concept.
I do too. That's why.
Yeah, and when I last talked to him, he said my role as the coach was still secure, but that all could change.
Sure.
Depending on what production company picks it up or which direction it goes, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, I love the idea.
Great.
Yeah, it's like the Bad News Bears of wrestling. It's really cool.
No doubt.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I thought maybe Troy, and I'll explain why. Because if you give me photo 7, Ming, this is a photo that's on imdb.com with Troy.
Hey, look at that
stud. But then I want you to picture him a little thinner, take away the goatee, give me photo 8. Tell me he doesn't look a little like Baby Boy Smith in the face.
The bulldog.
The British bulldog.
See, I knew that.
I know. I'm impressed. I am impressed with that. Wow. And my thought process, see, if you take a look at the face, I'm just saying the face.
They could be brothers.
They could be.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that it's my half brother.
My thought process was, okay, you guys need to get the rights to do the Hart Foundation biopic.
Oh, wow. That would be a good one.
Yeah, where you could do the British Bulldog, Bret Hart, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I think,
Yeah. Well, they just did the Von Erichs, so.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about this. If you're doing the Von Erichs, the next step is the Harts.
Yeah, Harts are big.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Just saw the A&E biography on the British Bulldog, which I thought was really well done.
Oh, yeah. And the Hitman just doesn't get enough props. He's one of the best ever.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and his biography was 1 or 2 years ago, but they finally really elaborated on the Canadian screw job that he suffered in Montreal.
Yeah. I mean, he was just awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, one last question on random shots. Who would you think was more likely to cry when Dante died in Clerks 3? Neither one of you, huh? Okay. Hey, O'Halloran, I hope you're watching this. Neither one of them were crying for you.
I was a little, I have to say, it choked me a little bit. It kind of did.
Good.
It did. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, he did. I was surprised.
I know Brian too long. I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna cry over.
cry
Oh
over.
wow, some friend you are. Jeez.
No.
But then again, even Brian has said, "Hey, look, Kevin's been trying to kill me since Clerks."
Exactly.
It's true.
I was there way back when he was dead already. So it's like, you brought that sumbitch back? God damn it. No, Brian's awesome now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I got to give you the final word on just in general with Clerks. What does it mean to you seeing the end of it and the way it was wrapped up? Because I thought it was wrapped up beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, it's God. I hope he leaves it alone. It's just it is a perfect ending. It's just he really did an amazing job. Yeah. I've actually had some fans, because we get a lot of people coming through Smodcastle Cinemas.
Sure.
Asking, "Oh, you guys are gonna make another one?" I'm like, "No, God, no, please don't." It's just he really knocked it out of the park with that one. I mean, to end it, it's just good. And I think there was somebody was like, "Oh yeah, we could bring back the ghost of Dante."
Oh.
And I was like, "What? No," because they brought back, Rosario and
but it made sense for where they were in the film.
Right. But yeah, it was beautifully done. I was very happy with the way it ended. But to be honest, I would have been content with just Clerks. The fact that he got Clerks 2 and Clerks 3, is a bonus.
Right.
But I mean, if he would have ended it at just Clerks, I would have been like, "Oh man, that's beautiful," because I mean, it's an iconic film. It's still talked about 30 years later. And people are still
how do you feel
watching
about that?
it.
Yeah, this year's the 30th anniversry.
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping to do something for the third. Well, we are going to do a 30th anniversary at the Smodcastle.
Very good.
It may. Me and Kevin are still deciding, but there's a chance it may open up the festival, the Smodcastle Film Festival.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, Troy, as a fan, your feeling on the Clerks trilogy?
I think Clerks 3 for me was the best.
That says a lot.
Yeah. And before, I've told Ernie this before, I thought 2 was better than 1.
Interesting.
I like 2.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, I wasn't really a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it because it was filmed in
your town.
In my town.
Sure.
In the store I went to every day in my life. But I'm saying listen, not that I think it was great that what he did.
Right.
It was, but I'm just saying, yeah, there's fans and there's super fans. You know what I mean? I like I said, I watched it. Wasn't
right.
It was good, but I'm saying it wasn't like my cup of tea, kind of. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like I said, I liked it because it was filmed in Leonardo, my hometown, and and I always tell the stories like when they were filming it, I'd go in there and Kevin's like, I'm full of shit. This fucking dude ain't make no movie. And then one day I was like, I see the camera, like, yeah, all right, maybe he is making a movie. I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have said, let me, can I get in?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was there a lot going in and when they were filming, because they'd start setting up probably like 9:30 and the store closed at 10, shoot at night, and I just didn't, back then, you're 20 years old, 21, whatever I was, and I'm like, yeah, these guys are fucking full of shit. You know what I mean? So,
but also too, where you were at that stage of your life, filming was not front of mind. Nope. You had other things going on.
Yep.
And that turning point was what, about 15 years ago, maybe?
Roughly? Here's funny. When they were filming Clerks, I just turned pro.
Right. So you just started your boxing career.
I didn't, I said, I wasn't movies. I did movies back when I was 14. I did Homeboy, and it was cool. I liked it, but I moved on from that, and it wasn't in my train of thought. It wasn't like, I want to be an actor. But still, who don't want to be in a movie, even, but I just was like, I don't believe it. It didn't register like they were, because I didn't know if they were serious or not. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, they're filming because I'm doing them. And he was actually in the video store when I was in there getting, some porn. I handed him that. I was like, he's like, yeah, we're making. I said, yeah, all right, you're full of shit, dude. But I didn't believe him.
Right.
If it's because I didn't think it was happening.
It is fascinating though, because you two came from very different paths, and it comes together, and you guys work so well together. I mean, I guess there's an advantage to being like, okay, we don't have to be totally similar, and our paths are different, but when we come together and start to work, it just gels so well.
Well, listen, we're from the area. Listen,
from the same area,
the people from Highlands, Atlanta, Leonardo, but they're all it's the same. We had the same thought pattern, like the same stupid shit we'd say, the same stupid they would say in high, you know, in that era. That's, you know what I mean. So that's kind of, and we still think that way. So you know, because you know, if we had two different views, I don't think it would work as well. You know what I'm saying? So it might still work, but not as I wouldn't be hanging out with them,
right?
Other than filming,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So. I just think that's how it works, you know.
Well, I think the big thing with me and Troy is we're both real with each other. There's no bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I keep it, you know, straight with him.
Well, I've gotten to know you. You are definitely a no BS kind of person.
Yeah, it's just, you know, you get to a point in life where it's like, you know, why? Just, you know, for example, he'll write a script, and he knows I'm very tough. And he'll send it to me, and I'll give him notes out the ass.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, well, this is what I think, but that's my opinion.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I think we should tweak this and that. And he'll take some of it, and he'll tweak a little bit here and there, and we'll move a little things. But, you know, if he, you know, sometimes he's like, fuck no, I want this. I'm like, well, fine, it's, you know, it's cool. I mean, it's your movie, dude, but I'm here to, you know, I'm here to help and move the needle a little bit. But at the end of the day, we don't get mad at each other. It's just,
that's good to
you know,
hear,
it's like, you know, he has a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I try, you know, to assist in that vision. But at the end of the day, he's got to make what he's comfortable with and what he's happy with. Right. You know, so if he takes a little bit of tweaking here and there, then I've done my job. You know,
but that's how it works.
You know,
good.
It works great. Yeah.
It's something that I would have thought a little bit about. He's like, I want to, and I'm like, I thought of that, but maybe now. You know what I mean? Switch it around. I said, now I kind of like that idea. You know what I mean? So, because I don't, it's not all about me. Like, oh, fuck that. This is my script. Fuck you. I don't care what you say. Right. You know, I don't do that. Right. And just even when they're acting, when I'm direct, I'm like, dude, if it sounds better this way, do it. I don't need you to say this way. What's it say on the paper? Do it that way. I don't, because I just don't. I think. Is a better result if somebody meaning the same thing but comes across in a different way.
Right.
I think it works better and might sound better him doing it that way. So, you know, and I know some people. I'm not mentioning names on the script. They're like, I'm like, dude, no, don't say that again. No, absolutely. They're like, oh, okay. I was like, no, you tried it, but don't say it again.
Right. Exactly.
It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, but everybody knows that they have the free range to a certain extent, you know what I mean? So, and well, like I said with Ernie, if I send him something, he's like, "Oh, why don't you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking like that."
It's funny because I'm friends with Dan Gregory on Facebook, and he will defend your point on that. He said it was just a great experience to do it.
Yeah, Dan did it. You know, Ernie knows Dan too. He did a good job. You know, I have to say he did a you know, and I told him, I said, "Listen, I like him because I've seen him and stuff before. And,
sure,
and you know, he's young looking, so he actually." The cast from Pete and him, they look like they could be brothers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I said, but that beard's got to go. He's like,
that's
oh. I said, that's the only way you're getting apart, dude. If you shave, if you don't shave, then you can't get. And he's like, nah, fuck that. All right, I'll shave it off.
Exactly.
But no, listen. Everybody that was associated with the film did a fantastic job, as you'll see when you watch it. Like, I mean, everybody. I mean, I can't even say enough about it. They all did just by showing up, but. The acting was a bonus. The way they didn't complain about everything, and it's not like the best scenario. You know what I mean? Like when we film, you know what I mean? It's not like you have a trailer waiting for you outside. Right. You know what I mean? You're waiting around, sitting on the old couch.
There's not a big tray of food. You may get some cheese doodles.
Right. This one we had a lot of cookies.
There you
somebody.
Go. We'll take free food. We're not proud.
I better have my cookies.
Some chips. You know, a lot of trips to Costco. You know what I mean?
There you go, smart.
But you know, like I said, everybody did like a fancy. And the girl that plays the subject in the movie. She was fantastic. Like she didn't, and you know, she didn't complain once.
Nice.
Maybe once, but I really didn't.
Well, again, you allow that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. She did a great job, and like I said, she was dedicated because she's. I'd say probably one of the leads, right? I mean, she's They came every day, and and she had to do an hour and a half of makeup every night.
Wow.
Before.
Right. And it ties full circle to what you said before. Yeah. You gotta love this to do this. Yeah, because what you're going through is a lot. You may not be making a lot of money. You may not be making any money. Exactly. But if you have a love and you put your heart and soul into it, you're going to get a good product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And like, and Dan was awesome too, though. He did a good job. You know what I mean?
I'll say that you mentioned you'll get a good product.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can put all your heart and soul and not get a good product because you may not have the skill set yet. You may not have all the things that other filmmakers have at their disposal. But that should not be a discouraging thing for you, because it's something that you need to build on.
Right.
You got to start somewhere. The first thing you do could be shit. The next thing you do could be a little bit better, and then the next
shit.
right, and then it just gets
shit, right.
it gets better and better. I mean, you can't, because a lot of people will be out there and they'll put things out there and they'll, they won't think it turns out well. They won't get a good response.
Right.
But that shouldn't stop anybody from making their next project.
Don't quit.
Don't quit. It's just because you don't get it on the first swing does not mean you're not going to hit a homer at some point.
Right. No, it's really good advice.
You can't give up. If it's something you really, really enjoy, you're going to get there.
Amen.
Like with Ernie, like this was my first slasher film.
Yeah.
Obviously, 100
Acres of
that
Hell,
was
right.
So, to me, it was all new. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bringing the special effects people, and I've never dealt with that
Right.
before. So that was a kind of a learning experience.
Sure.
Seeing how that all comes together. And thank God Mark, Frado, DP, he's that's his game, boy.
Right.
So he knows like stuff that has to be done on set, opposed to me. I was like, all right, I'm just watching him do it. You know what I mean? He knows what I want the script, but I don't know about Ernie. I mean, was that was your second slasher, right? The one we did, What Lives Here, or would you do something else after 100 Acres?
I think that's my third.
Yeah.
Oh, that was I was saying, all right. So I
yeah, but I mean, yours, the one I did with you, was probably the most graphic.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Says a lot.
What I did in 100 Acres was great. I mean, it was a full feature.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on.
But the last 15 minutes.
I know. But
that you're on the ride and you're like you're wondering where it's going to go, and this is a credit to you with the film. You hit the end and you're just like, oh, okay. You're swept in the whole adventure with Gene Snitsky at that point, and you're just like,
yeah, that was in Gene's wheelhouse, that movie. Yeah.
That's good casting. That's how you get and a willing participant again.
Right.
Especially as somebody that was not known for acting, but has done his share in the wrestling world. He got to flex his muscles in a different way.
Right. Yeah. And his stunt coordination that he did in the fight scenes. I mean, those
was huge.
That was all legit.
Yeah.
That was no CGI. That was nothing fake. That was.
I can only imagine what he felt like. If you haven't seen 100 Acres Out, go watch it. Just for the last 15 minutes alone, trust me.
Yeah,
you're not
it's a great fight scene.
It really
That
really
dude's
is.
a big dude, man.
Oh my God.
Well, he dislocated my shoulder on set one day.
Ouch. And let me guess.
What happened?
Just by shaking my hand.
There you go. And not to quote his tagline again, he probably looked at you and went, "It's not my fault."
Yeah. He literally he grabs you by your hand when he goes to shake it, but he pulls you towards him. And I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And
he
pulled
took you
me
off guard, yeah.
And he pulled so hard it just popped. And I just had my shoulder reset like a couple of weeks ago, and he pulled it right back out.
What's he like, 6'8"?
I don't know.
He's at least 6'5", and I know
he's got to be bigger than that.
Think so?
Man.
Yeah.
He's huge.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
And I know he's over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. But I was like, you dick. He's
now
like,
pop
whoa.
it back in.
Yeah.
Now pop it back in.
Yeah. No, that was the next day. I had to do my scene, and then the next day I went to the chiropractor, and he popped it back in. Yeah.
And actually, Jeff Swanton's he's the lead in What Lives Here. He was
cool.
in 100 Acres.
Yeah.
He was
the lead in 100 Acres.
Yeah, what's his name in that?
Morgan. Yeah.
So there again, more connections that really.
I keep giving Jeff work.
It's very nice of you to do that.
He owes me something. I don't know what it is.
Commission?
But, I keep bringing
a
all
few
these
dinners
actors
out,
in
yeah.
to do shit, and
Well, you don't take liquor, so it's got to be
I
dinner.
know.
It would be easier if you drank. I'm being honest.
I told you, give me a cannoli or something.
There you go.
Sevilla Del or something.
Come on, give the Irish kid a cannoli, will you, please?
A cup of cookies. He likes chocolate chip.
And give me photo number 1 so I can plug this one more time. It is happening at the Smart Castle Cinema on April 6th. Doors open at 7 o'clock, so get there early, meet the cast, be on the red carpet, and then take in What Lives Here, and you're getting a really good horror film. Guys, Glad you did this. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Rob.
Really
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
Man. Appreciate it.
That's a wrap for this week. I'll be back in about 2 weeks. We'll do this again. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm glad we had a lot of fun here tonight. Take care of yourself.